Hey everybody, and Merry Christmas from mid-Michigan. If you're looking for the absolutely most wild Christmas decoration that's going to set you apart from your neighbors and pretty much your entire town, then look no further to this product. This is a 26-foot tall inflatable Santa Claus by TKLoop. I picked this up last Christmas, and there's even a video on my channel of without a narration of just what it looked like fully inflated. And I can't tell you how incredible this product is. You know, when I received it, I was like, wow, this thing is wild. I wasn't sure about it. I put it up and the whole neighborhood went absolutely wild for it. I'm gonna take a moment just to go through what comes in the box, the installation, inflation, and what it looks like. In the box, a 750 watt blower is included along with Santa. There's 4 lines for outboard rigging. There are 4 about 15-inch or 14-inch metal stakes. In total, Santa has about 4 stake provisions on each foot, and then 4 around the top of the body with outboard rigging, and 1 additional rigging that I hooked up that goes to the back of the arm on the bag, which I added over here. The best way to set Santa up is to first attach the left foot to the ground first and inflate, and then with about 4 people position him and then start systematically tying everything down. The blower is a 750 watt blower. I also staked down the blower for additional stability in case Santa were to topple over from the wind. Right now the wind speed is about 15 miles per hour, which is on the borderline of being a smidge too high right now for Santa. I usually prefer to run them when wind speeds are below 10 miles per hour. Despite all of these riggings, he seems to be pretty stable, but if a strong gust does come along, he can get pulled out of the ground. But I haven't had any of the attachment points rip. One thing I'm impressed about is the stitching and quality of the inflatable is really good. All right, Santa has 3 15-inch zipper air release sections, 1 in the bag. There's 1 on the right back boot, right there. And there's 1 more on the back of the body, right there. When they're all released, it will deflate in approximately half an hour on its own. All right, well, let's give this a whirl. It's a little bit windy out here right now. It's blowing between 12 to 17 miles an hour, which is kind of on the borderline for my comfort level with big Santa here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the blower on so you get an idea of just the initial inflation. Total inflation time is about 15 minutes or so. Notice here on the sides, I added a little bit of additional rope on the side before the stakes. That way it allows the boot to roll up a little bit with the inflation process. The stakes on the inside of the foot lay flat to the ground. Like I said, this process will take about 15 minutes or so. I'm going to go pause it, come back when it's fully inflated, get the floodlight on it, and show you how it looks. Alright, we're about 5 minutes into the inflation process so far. I've got the spotlight on right now. It's the part of the inflation where the wind can really blow Santa around a little bit. He can right himself up without any help, and sometimes I'll get in there and just kind of help push it up just to increase the inflation time and relieve any stress of the lines pulling on top of his structure. Okay. Actually, Santa went up pretty quick this time. He went up about 10 minutes exactly. I ran out of daylight today. The spotlight is actually really bright. It's not showing up too hot in the camera, so I'll do my best. I ran out of daylight hours today. Just a little walk around. Santa is absolutely massive. Let me pull back a little bit here. As you can see, he basically dwarfs the house. It is quite an awesome, ridiculous spectacle. We'll do a little walk around. As you can see, the 4 tie downs from the outboard riggings go up to his collar area. On the boot area, if it shows up, see the additional, I lengthened the tie downs on the feet just to allow for some of the rolling on the foot. One thing that's not showing up really well is this bag is ridiculously huge. And I have got that one tie going around the side of it to kind of keep the bag from swinging around in the wind, because when the wind gets blowing, that bag can really move. It's unfortunate though, because the bag is pretty hilarious draped on the side of it, but with the way the wind is right now, about 12 miles an hour to 15, I'd rather have it braced right now against that rope. Again, I assure you the video does absolutely no justice in person. This thing is ridiculously huge. When I bought this last year, the 26 foot was the biggest one. If you look on Amazon now, there's actually a 33 and a 40 foot one as well. I cannot even fathom how huge the 40 foot one would be. There's a little side view. Again, it's getting a little dark out here, but this thing is just so ridiculous. It's so awesome. I'll leave this up for about 4 to 5 hours. Then when I go to power down, I just shut off the blower, open the 3 zippers, let it naturally deflate. Right now the wind is actually blowing pretty good. I'm not sure how well the movement of Santa is showing up right now, but this is probably about the max you'd want him to be moving around. If there's any stronger of a wind, you'll start pulling stakes out. In the description attached, there are some upgrade stakes that I am using to help keep them in place. You know, on one hand, when the stakes give, I'd rather have the stake pull out the ground than have a buckle rip out of the body or structure. So wind is a major consideration. Here in Michigan, we definitely get more wind during the colder months, opposed to summer where it's usually pretty still at nighttime. Here's a shot from my front porch looking out. It is just hilarious looking out the window and seeing this thing pointing down the cul-de-sac. I'll get a shot upstairs. It's even more comical looking at his head nearly eye level with the second floor. Again, the kids absolutely love this. The neighborhood loves it. People were asking me all fall, when's Big Santa going up? So all the extra work is definitely worth it. It does take a little more caretaking than your typical blow up. You just can't just turn the switch on, forget it, and leave it alone for hours. I tend to babysit it a little bit, just make sure, like in wind like tonight, it's holding steady, not getting ripped out of the ground and blown down the street. So far so good though. He's rocking and rolling a little bit, but I think it's all good. All right, here's a shot out the second story window of our home. Again, Big Santa is probably a couple inches taller than the top peak of our house. It's just hilarious just looking at him looking down the cul-de-sac. Again, if you want to be top notch in your neighborhood with most outrageous Christmas decoration, this is definitely the way to go. Again, you'll probably have traffic driving by your house, coming around, checking out Big Santa. Trust me, no one will have anything like this around. Santa's hanging strong. The wind's been blowing a bit, but he's hanging in there. I had a chance to review some of this footage, and looks like everything is showing up really good. Again, it's a little breezy tonight. I just don't know the true capacity of the tie-down strings on Santa. For all I know, he could take a lot more, or this could be his limit. I'm not sure. It would just be a tragedy to have one of those lines pull out of the body. Well, Big Santa's been up for about 5 hours, and then the wind's really picking up, as you can see. So it's time for him to come down. I'll show you the power down process. I did forget to mention that the kit does include a storage bag and also a repair kit for if you have any tears. It comes with material, needle, and thread. So let's go ahead and power him down so you can watch that process. So I'll simply hit the power on the blower. See, we've had a couple stakes come out of the ground, so he's good to come down. All right, power is off on the blower. Go ahead and unzip the back body. We'll unzip the foot. Oh, sorry, it's dark. Now we'll unzip the bag. A couple stakes get pulled out of the foot area on the right side from the wind. I'll pound those back in tomorrow. But that's about it. You know, he's nice and tethered down. He won't go anywhere at this point. He'll be down in about an hour or so. So I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Wishing everyone good health during these times. Take good care of yourself and everyone you love.